Something about this is wrong. Dive Kick is my first foray into the genre of fighting games. And let me say right out of the gate, I suck at them. There are too many button combinations to remember what combos into what. What decides whether or not a combo is going to drop out? What is frame advantage? How do you get frame advantage? How do you lose it? What is better on block and not? In every single character you have to know what is, what isn't. All those questions and more, forget them. They don't matter in Dive Kick. 2 buttons, 2 moves, whole game. I don't mean that as a joke. There are 2 buttons in the game, dive and kick. If you press kick while you're on the ground, you'll make a short jump up and back. And if the timer runs out, whoever is closest to the center line wins. That is everything you need to know to start playing. Now, of course, there is more complexity once you're within the game. Each character has their own special ability and styles of jumps and kicks. Some jump slightly higher, some have longer kicks, some are just weird. Each character has its own unique traits that keep the game feeling different and fresh. The story, though, is another matter altogether. Every character has their own mini-story that will not make sense. This is not an insult to the game, it's deliberately insane. For instance, Redacted is a badger who mutated into a more human form and developed an addiction to chewing on cigars. The Fessa is from another game and has ended up in this world. He seeks to sacrifice himself to the Nidhogg, and anything beyond that is a mystery. Dr. Scholl seeks to cure a foot disease that tends to afflict Dive Kick competitors. All completely ridiculous, which is, of course, the fun of this game. And this fight is why I didn't play through as all the characters. He's meant to be broken. He's the epitome of what final bosses were back in the days of the quarter machine. Cheap, impossible to beat, and obnoxious. But what might be nostalgic for some players, I never got to play on those machines, so is just incredibly gut-wrenchingly frustrating for me. And that's kind of my final opinion of the game. It tries its hardest to keep you amused. The characters' stories are over the top, and the tips shown on the loading screens are hilariously stupid. The fights are crazy, chaotic, and fast-paced, and the play is simplified yet still complex enough to be engaging. But the game just isn't as fun when you're playing on your own. In fact, I don't think any fighting game can be fun when playing solo. So, what happens when you bring another player into the mix? The whole game gets better immediately. Yes, you lose out on those weird backstories and character interactions in the single player once you're in multiplayer, but you gain that much more enjoyment from everything else. Those stupid tips between the screens become a joke you can both laugh at together and make your own jokes off of. The fight as the timer runs down for that center line is tense and results in more losses than anything else, because that careful game of footsie must be thrown out the window. But a human player can't capitalize on your tiny mistakes like the computer can, so the frustrations turn into laughing at each other, complaining that the other person's character is cheap and overpowered, and just general hilarity.
Fraud detection warning.
Best of all are the fraud and choke detections. If you win 4 rounds without a single loss, the game will put up a fraud detection warning on your opponent. Win that 4th, and
Detected. Fraud detected.
the opponent can manage to win that round, though. The detection is averted. In fact, if the opponent then goes on to win 4 rounds without a loss, so you're tied again,
Choke detection warning.
you get a choke detection warning, because you're choking and going to throw the game.
Dive Kick! Headshot! It's okay, I still ain't ready!
Choke detected.
You can also get well beyond 9 rounds of play through the double kills. And the further you get in rounds, the more English the announcer's voice gets.
Round 1, Dive Kick! Round 5, Dive Kick! Round 7, Round 11, Round 13, Dive Kick!
I would definitely suggest Dive Kick for your next party, or better yet, drunk party, because pressing 2 buttons is about the amount of difficulty you'll need when you're that sloshed. There's also an online component, if you're the type of person that needs to school others over the internet to make up for your shortcomings, but I didn't need it. And finally, if you're the average level player, don't expect to be able to finish the character's storylines, but there wasn't really anything good in that finishing anyway to see. Just more ridiculous craziness that you'd be better off playing with someone else over.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my shortest video so far this year. We'll hopefully be getting up all 4 December videos, of which this is not one actually, but you all know how finals are at college. Don't just subscribe, but make sure to share this with your friends to increase the size of our little Otterholt. Make sure to remember that life is only another game. Enjoy this random outtake.